that's this centre one here is the one that I'm going to start with, and I always put the middle piece in first, and I'm doing satin stitch, which is different. Again, like I did down the middles of those and did those first, I do the same with satin stitch because it comes out more symmetrical. So I've got my knot on the end. Now this is more uppy downy. You can do it the other way, but I find it's much easier to do it this way. So keep the knot out of the way. Satin stitch isn't easy. You can do this with chain stitch if you want, but it does look nice in satin stitch because it shines. Make sure you get close up like that. And if you get a gap, you can just go back and fill it. I'll get this middle one done and then I'll show you how to do the outside, and there's a reason for doing the middle first. And again, I can tell you what that is when we get there, to make it easier. Everything I do, I like to make it as easy as I possibly can, because I'm not trained embroiderer. The only people that have ever taught me embroidery is one teacher at school who taught me a bit, and my grandmother, Nan Peacock. So anybody can do this. If I can do this, and at my age when I can't see so well as I should be able to, you can do it. There you go. And like I said before, practice makes perfect. The more you do, the better you get at it. And I find when I first start doing it in the day, it's not as good as when I've been doing it for a bit, and that happens every time. And also, when I come back to look at it the next day, the fairies have always been at it and it always looks better. I don't know why. It's really strange because I never see them do it. Right, so I've got to that end there. Now, you can turn it over and slide that through, or it really doesn't matter. Especially if you're going to have a problem like that because a knot gets in it. Do you know, thread, if you give it half a chance, it will do something naughty like that. Now, back in there. I'm not sure which end has to finish, but it doesn't matter. And you go back to, I always find one way is better than the other. One way is easier than the other. It must be the way I've just done, because that's quite good, isn't it? Pretty good. And also, if it doesn't look absolutely perfect, it doesn't matter. Like I say, the fairies come in and make it better in the night. And you never tell people that you haven't done the best job on it. Us quilters, we do that. We point out all our little mistakes because we don't want people saying how lovely we are, how clever we are. But you don't need to do that. There's so many different patterns on this that you can't see it. You'd have to really search to find small anomalies. What do we call them? Design features. Small design features on it that you might not like. And again, as Emma says, you can always unpick it if you don't like it. It's much easier to unpick satin stitch than it is chain stitch. But then again, it's much easier to do chain stitch neatly and perfectly than it is satin stitch. So again, that doesn't matter. I love chain stitch. It's so quick and easy. I'm getting smaller and smaller, obviously, as I go to the sides. It's three strands again, and that's finished. Look at that middle, like that. Finish it off. We'll go along there again to finish it. There we are. When I'm doing what's in the hoop, I do all the same stitches first. Like I'll do all the dark stitches that I need to do around here. I won't do one piece like I did to show you and then finish that piece and then do the next bit. I'll put all the dark threads in and then all the others and then all the middles. That's a quicker way of doing it. Now, I'm going to do this with the dark red. The inside flowers are the dark red. And these flowers, I shall either do them in the real pale or the shading pink. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see until I start to do them, and I'll get some idea. Now, this is another thing that I find the easiest way to do satin stitch, to get it neat and even. I start in the middle again. I'm going to come up there because I don't want the knot on the top. That's the only reason I start there. And then I go down into the top, into that point. Well, I'll stick my needle down. I might go up with the stitching, but then I don't come back down and go up again from the bottom, because it's much easier to make a neat job, especially on these, because you come round a bit. You want to shade them in. It's much easier to do it this way. You can put it right up close down this bottom bit. Pushing it into where that's already stitched is neater than trying to pull it up there. Down a bit, in and down a bit. Sometimes I stitch it in the same space that I've come out of, and it really goes neat and pretty. When we've done this, I'll show you how to do a leaf, or how I did it. I mean, I suppose professional and really, really good embroiderers will be shouting at me now, but this is how I do it, and I like to do it like this, and anybody can do this. Right? See how it's coming in as I come round. I'll do a similar thing on the leaf. I might just do this one petal and then show you the leaf. If Emma says that's what I should be doing, I don't know. We'll see. That's a little bit far out, that one, but that's all right. I'm not going to alter it, because it's a leaf, and leaves are not all perfect, are they? Or it's not a leaf, it's a petal. They're not all perfect. When you look out in the flowers in the garden, they're not all perfect. So you don't need to have yours all perfect. Although I don't think this is bad. And you go up to the stalk. I'm going to fill that last little piece in. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. Now, do what I did with the other one. I'm going to go up to there, up to the top, and I'm going to start again coming down. Oh yeah. I'm a bit far down. I might need to fill that in, but we'll see. That's all right. Keep making sure you haven't got this caught in. I do like doing this. I like these small satin stitched pieces. I wouldn't want to do any bigger ones. And the other thing is with doing small satin stitch pieces, you don't catch the threads, nor do you when you do these. It's very stable. Satin stitch, chain stitch is very stable. And satin stitch is okay, as long as you only do small pieces with it. If you want a bigger piece filled in with satin stitch, you have to do long and short stitches, and that looks beautiful, but I'm not up to that yet. I don't think you'll ever see me do that. But again, it's not necessary on this. You don't have to do it. Oh, God, please, that's coming nicely. I'm still guiding my needle underneath with that finger. I'm guiding it. Mind you, I don't know whether I guided that properly. So I wasn't looking. Oh yeah, that's good. Yep, like that. Last two little stitches on this petal. See how nicely it comes in round there, and it's shiny. I like that. And then when you do start the next one, I'll just show you how to start the next one, and then we'll go on to the leaf. Now you start the same as we did before. Start there, because it's not a long stitch to go from there to there, so it doesn't look messy on the back, and it's not a problem. And then you start again exactly the same. Go in there, and then up there. You've got to think which side to go up and down on this, because if you do this side first, you'll end up there, and you really want to do that one next. So what I do is I do this side first, and then that side, and you'll end up there, and then it's easy to go from there to there. So just put that down to there. That's it. I'll finish that flower, that dark flower. It's not perfect, but then nothing ever is it? Like I said before, there's a wonky bit there, but it's not that obvious, because when we print these, we don't do them in dark, thick black, which would show up. Like that, it doesn't. And also, I've missed a little bit there. It's a little bit not so close, but that doesn't matter. I mean, when you look at that as it is, I think it's fine. Love it. So now I'm going to go on to doing some satin stitch on the leaf. So I'll start at the bottom here. I usually go up this side first and then come down there. And I'm using the palest green. Now, you need to make these rows of stitches look like they're veins on the leaf. So I go up at an angle like that. This is not as easy as that even, but you can still do it and it still looks okay. So again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with that one, but I'm going up to there so I know what the angle is, and then I shall go in there and I shall come back down this way. In there. Because as I said, it is again, it's easier to stick your needle up on the edge and then down into where that is, because you can sort of even go a bit underneath it so it disappears. And also, if you're not too sure where to stick it, you can do that, and then you can see that it goes there. Yeah, that's all right. These stitches don't have to go right to the edge. Look fine as they are, like that. It's much easier to do it like this. Right, and then I'll go back up to there. I'm not going to worry about sliding along. It's fine. The length of the stitch is not too much. So up there like that. And then this is where you've got to see where to go. So in there. If you lay the needle along it, you can see. Yep. You have to go up here a bit, because it's moving along. So when you do that, you've got to see that you've got it far enough up, maybe a little bit more. And this twirly leaf is more difficult than these ones. They're just straight up and down. So if you can do these, you can do them. In there. Yep. Oops, where's it gone? Oh, yeah, that's all right. But you've done a few of these, you get really used to it and you enjoy doing it. Now, because I don't know where to stick the next one, I'm going to go to the top, right, and put that in there and go into there, right in the top. If you can see that. And feel, oh, I don't need to. Well, I'll put one more in. It's almost right, that. But the other side, I will have to do something a bit different. Yeah, into there, just there. Fine. Now, I'm going to put that there. So I want to come down. I need to come down this way, like this. So, yeah, there, I think. So, I'll stick the needle in there and bring it down here. And I've got a shape to work on up here. I did see somebody draw the lines in with a pencil. I haven't tried that yet, so that might be a good way to do it. But I quite like what I do. It works all right. And they look quite pretty when they're done. Probably only need 2 more stitches in that. And I won't go right to the bottom, I'll just push it in there. So it goes in there, that gappy bit. Oh yeah, one more and that's done then. Right, now you can start going down the other side. Again, you need to slide your needle so you can see where it needs to go. I'm going in here now because I don't want to take too much that's not coming into the middle. So I'm going to swivel it around a bit. To there. And work up this side. Right, so it's the angle that you need to get right. So I'm going to put that into there. And that's going to go. You can push it quite a way under there so it disappears. It's good. Right, so got to go a bit further up. I don't think it came quite far up. I was just talking to Emma about the pattern that I did. This pattern, I drew this isn't done with a computer. It hasn't been made every leaf and every flower to be exactly the same as each other, because it's sort of arts and craftsy, and I think it looks much better, to my mind, to have it the way I've done it. So, like I say, it's arts and crafts, and that's exactly what you're doing. That's another good reason why I really don't mind if you don't get it perfect. There, see, I'll fill that in, and then I shall go down and fill that bottom piece in. Push it right down. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Do the same on this edge when I get, well, I shall be quite a way down the bottom if I stop going into the vein. I just love doing this. It's very, what's the word? It makes you feel better. Therapeutic. Nearly finished. Pause for more stitch. Another thing that Emma pointed out to me earlier was that if you're not happy with what you've done around the edge of that, you can either put back stitch around it or stem stitch, but I wouldn't. I like it like that. Right, finish it off, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And that's the most difficult thing that you have to do on the whole thing, and it's not difficult. Just fill it in, and if you don't like what you've done, unpick it and have another go. There you are. I've got that little corner finished. Normally, when I'm doing a hoop full, I would have got all the bits and pieces that were in the hoop at the time done all at once. I would do that piece, and I'll obviously get that flower done before I move it. But they're all done exactly the same way as I showed you that. This is a vein up the middle. But what I did with this, I went up here. Let me remember exactly the way I did it. Yeah, I went up. Or did I start there? Yeah, I started there with a knot, and I went up there and did that piece like I did on the end of there. And then I went behind like I was casting off, but I wasn't. And then I went up there and did the same. Back down there, up there, down there, and then down there, and then all the way around that. And then down and past there. Because I've got enough room in the hoop to do that. And then that means you've got all these pieces done with these nice little pieces on the end, and you're not stopping and starting all the time, because you've got a nice long piece of this dark thread. And then when you do the filling, you put the shade stitch around here the same, and then you fill it in. And what I did was to go, when I'm filling, you don't put the shade stitch up here or anywhere near the veins. You go, just do the shade around there, yeah. And then when you're filling, you go up here like this and up there. And I went up there to there, and then I filled that piece in like I did the other one, and then I filled that one in. I went up there to the top, and then filled that one in up there, and did the same the other side. So they're all done more or less the same. I did something similar with these, starting there and going up to the top, and then coming round to there, coming up here, going up to the top, down, and then down there, and then you can do another one if you want. Depends how much you've got in your hoop, where they are in your hoop. But that's basically all it is, really. And it just comes together, and I love it. And I love those colours. I really like those colours. I like the blue one. I love the blue one. But I didn't want another blue one because this is going to be mine, probably. Yes, there you go.